Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Monday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to have an intriguing conversation. And today, our talk is on motivation. What's your drive to your goals? Motivation. What's your drive to your goals? And my very special guest is no stranger to Conversations with Nicole, although he has been gone so long, he might be a stranger. Mr. Ozzie Daniel, who is a clinician out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. But before I bring Ozzie Oz on, I want to hear from y'all. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on my personal LinkedIn page. But we want to hear from you. So in the comments, put your city and state, and we'll give you a shout out. And this is an interactive live, so your questions, your comments are very welcome. So I see Miss Peachy in the chat already. Thank you for being here. She's here in Tally Ho. Hope you had a good day, Peachy, and a good weekend. Listen, y'all, speaking of weekend, Sonya B and I had the best cocktails and conversations, cherishing yourself, falling in love with the most important person, you, on Friday. It was absolutely fantastic. We had about 30 women, and we talked and cried and laughed. It was awesome. We had vendors, we had mocktails. It was really, really good. So we will be gearing up for an August event and then another one in December, and I'll be having one in October solo. But it was really good. So lot of healing and affirmations took place and went forth. And so I'm hoping all of the women who were there are now better as a result. I see you, Miss Portia. Thank you for being here down in Miami. All right. And Peachy was supposed to be there, but couldn't make it. She said, I knew it was going to be amazing, and it was. But we'll catch you next time, Peachy. All right. So I got Ozzie on, waiting for me to bring him. He is backstage in the green room, rather. So Ozzie Daniel has graduated with honors in psychology and organizational leadership. He served in the United States Navy and completed many tours overseas, extending his duty one time for 146 days straight out to sea. He also, during his career, has worked in many departments in the communications field and special forces and high terrains. He also loves serving others. I will attest to that. He loves serving others while building a mind of faith and gratitude in his community. And he has worked in the mental health field as a clinician, family coordinator, a mental health skill builder. He focuses more on the holistic approach to mental health, which includes the whole well-being to enhance a person's quality of life. He enjoys relaxation, listening to jazz, reading, cooking his favorite Caribbean meals specifically. He also wants to open a jazz corner. I have to ask him if that's still a goal of his. In short, though, his some of his quotes are, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care." And he also believes that it does not cost a thing to be kind. So be kind to yourself first. Y'all, help me welcome Mr. Ozzie Daniel.
Good evening. Hey, Nicole. Hey, everyone. Good evening to you all. Those who are about to reach, those who are here, and those who are about to come later, and those who are about to check in next week or this week before the weekend. Welcome. Hey, Nicole. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
Once again, I heard you busting me out like, yeah, I might be a stranger now because it's been so long, huh? Okay. I, s-
long. It's
I,
okay.
I felt that uppercut. There you go. Get it in.
We still love you, Ozzy. We still love you.
Love you all more.
Mhm. All right. So listen, we got a lot of people on here, and I got to give a special shout out to Mom.
Hey,
And
Mom.
I'm giving a special shout out to Mom because yesterday was her birthday. So y'all
Happy belated birthday. We're still in the month and the week.
are.
So celebrate hard till the 1st of July.
We are. So y'all wish my mom a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Love you, Mom. All right, we got Mr. Warren Cave on. Thank you for being here. Miss Linda Lloyd in St.
Hey, Linda.
Thank you for being here. All right, Miss Jeanette in Miami Gardens. Thank you for being here. RB says, "Hey Oz."
Hey, RB.
Uh,
R&B. We're going to get some R&B and blues tonight then. All right.
Maybe. Marcus Boston in Tampa. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. All right, we're getting a number of birthday wishes for Mama. So, Mom, you are loved.
That's what's up.
All right. So, Ozzy, you know what I'm gonna ask you, right?
I know what you're gonna ask me. I have a feeling what you're gonna ask me, but I'm not sure what you're gonna ask me because last time you switched it up. But
That's
anyways, my ears are open.
all right. So we may have some new people on that aren't familiar with the Oster. So, who is Ozzy Daniel? Not what you do, but who are you?
Who am I? I would consider myself, as you think and you think and you experience and evolve, a lot of things you just happen to sink in and sink out, but I look at myself as a steward, someone who cares about others and believe deeply in building oneself up and really self-managing himself to be the best for himself and to share it with others. I'm a father, I am a friend, I'm a brother, and I just live the best way I could every single day of my life by just doing my best and living the best life I know how for Elohim as he work his word and his love in me to be the best that I could ever be. That's who I
Okay.
am.
All right. Love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Well,
Okay. So, all right. I don't see anybody else in the comments, and that's fine. But because I have a clinician on, I want to share the conversations with Nicole disclaimer, which is that all topics, past, present, and future, on Conversations with Nicole are for informational purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or an answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program. I said it. All right. Oh, Dante just joined us. Hey, Dante. Thank you for being here. All right. So, the topic tonight is motivation.
yes, it is.
Motivation. What's your drive to your goals?
Yeah,
Let's start with the viewers. Let's ask them what motivates you.
good question. Yes.
What motivates you? Let us know in the comments. Safe space, no judgment. What
We're
motivates? Yeah,
all here to learn.
we all
And
here to learn. We all here to learn. What motivates you? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Well, I will say while folks are responding, people motivate me. And when I say people motivate me, I mean one of my mantras is that we all have gifts and talents that the world is waiting on, and we shouldn't be sitting on them, but we need to be sharing them.
Mm-hmm.
So I am motivated by the gifts and talents that folks have. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I am encouraged by the things that they are inspired to do, their purpose, their passion. And so that gives me a push.
Mm. So
Mhm.
you give it a push to draw it out of them for them to realize it, or you just fan the fan over the fire and just put it ablaze? Which one?
So I think sometimes I can help motivate people with their their purpose and their passion.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it is in hearing them talk about their purpose and their passion or whatever it is that they are motivated by, it inspires me and it motivates me.
All right.
All right.
Sound good.
So Sharice just joined us. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes. All right. Peachy responded. She said, doing what I love, making an impact, walking in my purpose, helping people. Nice. All of those are great. Thank
That's awesome. Good job. Yeah.
you. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? What motivates you? All right. RB, following Jesus, my family, and achieving goals. However, when motivation is low, I fall back on discipline and the awareness of my responsibilities.
All
Nice.
right. Good job there, RB. That's
Thank
what's
you.
up.
Yeah, that's good. Warren, it motivated me to know I'm working in my calling and I'm able to provide for my family and better to assist people with getting their lives in order. Nice.
Okay. Servanthood.
And Warren is definitely doing that with his ministry, working with young people, working with returning citizens. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
oh goodness, it's it motivates me to know I think he said I'm friends with Nicole. Uh,
We're in good company then. Oh, all
Warren,
right.
yes, Warren, you
That's it.
so kind. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right.
All
Uh,
right.
all right. Okay. Well, let's move on. A few folks answered, and if you all want to respond later, you can.
All right.
So, motivation. What's your drive to your goals?
And that is very important, because we could be motivated to do anything, right? Depending on the drive that we have at that present moment. So, what is it really we focusing on in that motivation? And is it purpose driven
Mm,
or is it selfish driven?
mm,
Because some motivation are driven on ego, on the part of what I could get for myself, how much I could get for myself, and I
mhm,
want it all to myself. Then we have that motivation that we have to develop from within
mm,
to initiate motivation and create momentum. Now, once we are in that mode, it helps us to cultivate and take away all the unnecessary things and distraction from our lives to keep us focused. Now, on that token, we have to expect all the negative before the positive sometime,
okay.
depending on how well our mind is cultivated and how driven we are from within.
Mm,
So now we have the external challenges that will always be there in
okay.
all shape, form, and sizes. But are we dealing with the clutter that may need to be decluttered out of our own being to help us be on that driven motivation so we could be able to accomplish our goals? Now, with me personally, I
Mm-hmm.
see things in 10. Okay. So now if I can't see it 10 years from now, and seeing that goal manifesting 10 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
I will not even jump on that train track. Why?
Okay.
Because it will get derailed and it will not be fulfilled. So this is a time that quiet time,
Mm-hmm.
spending time within your own being, right?
Yep.
Because here it is, everyone is born with a purpose. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care what you look like, how tall you are, how short you are, the complexion of your skin or not. You were born and you have breath in your nostrils. You were born with a purpose, for a purpose, and that purpose must be found within your being in order to be fulfilled.
Okay.
So if that purpose is not found and lived out, it is easily to get distracted and derailed.
Mm-hmm.
And now fear, frustration, and forgetfulness, doubtfulness, and even to the point of laziness may come about. Why? Because we don't feel that confidence and feel that self worth and that self esteem in order to do the things that we were born to do. Because all that potential is already in us, it's not outside of us, it's already in us. So,
Okay.
how do we discover these things? Now
Mm.
we may have someone like Nicole that may see that good in that person and observe that good in that person and may enlighten that person. But the key is, do that person see it themselves?
That is a very good question. We
And
got we hold on. We got Coach Anna who just joined us. Thank you for being here. And James Coleman. Happy belated Juneteenth. Peace from Deerfield Beach. All right. Thank you for being here, James. So, how do we find what that purpose is?
how do we find what that purpose is?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first thing first is returning to the one who created you.
Okay.
He created you,
Right.
he gave breath to you. So, therefore, the only person that knows it all is him himself. So, returning and building a relationship with him is the most important thing we could always do. Why? Because he knows all the raw material that is in us, and he is the one that will gel it all together and peel it off like an onion to bring it out of us.
Mm.
So, how many hours, how many days, and the weekends, and after work, not your job, but your work is what really counts. So after you finish your job, are you working on your work, your
Mm.
true work, your true purpose that is within you to cultivate it, to bring it out naturally? Just
Mm-hmm.
like a basketball player. If you want to be a great basketball player, you can't be a great basketball player watching basketball on TV.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to be a great basketball player, you got to get out there on the court and you
Mm-hmm.
got to practice. You got to maybe have some coaches. You maybe have to get some people to develop you and bring out those skills in you and even challenge you in certain areas so that skill could come out into perfection. And still, then, after years may come about, you end up learning different skills and doing it naturally your own self. But
Mm.
it takes practice. So, in order for that motivation to come about and in
Mm-hmm.
a driven way, it comes with discipline. How disciplined are we?
Mm.
That's one of the questions that we have to look at. Are we want to sit back and say, oh, I'm going to do this in 10 years, or I'm going to do this in 5 years, I'm going to do that next year, I'm going to do that this weekend without any action? Now, that's the first part is action.
So hold on. Warren said that's a better question, Nicole. I'm convinced that I'll never know my impact until I meet God. I'm learning how to be led in the spirit. I truly believe that I was created to be a vessel of love, hope, and support. If I'm never acknowledged here, I want the creator to say it. He's saying it loud. You'll never know the results if you're not correct connected to your creator. Okay. Thank you, Warren.
Thank you.
So with that being said about the connection,
Hmm.
there are folks that mm, maybe they aren't introduced to God in the household, or maybe it's a different way, right? And maybe the influences of their family is telling them as a young person, you need to pursue this type of
Hmm.
occupation
Right.
because it makes this amount of money, not necessarily aligning with what their skills, what their gifts and talents are.
Absolutely.
Mm,
And it really comes about too with the environment that you are in, and how much esteem you have within yourself and confidence within yourself. Because one of the key points is this: no matter where you are, it's already within you.
mm,
And there's a still voice within our soul always speaking, but some of us could hear it clear and some of us can't hear it at all. Why?
mm,
Because we have so much other things taking over and distracting us to the point that we looking at success in such a way.
mhm,
So until we achieve this amount of money, until we get this, until we get this degree, until we do this and do that and everything like that, then we'll feel like, okay, I'm ready now. But
mhm.
no, the key is the preparation part.
Okay.
So if we get to the understanding that before you reach greatness, before you get greatness, before you even see it, you have to believe it already. You have to already see it through the mind's eye in order to go through the process. See, that's where the motivation and the drive will keep you going and keep us going and help us stay disciplined. Because once we get disciplined, everything just start getting blocked out of the way and we get tunnel vision to the point of staying so focused. Now you have to experience a lot of criticism, a lot of negativity, but you have to be able to embrace it all, because once you embrace it all, now it you take it and you channel that in such a way as a learning experience,
Mhm.
a learning experience to take you to a better place, because you have to be able to know, okay, I'm aware this is about, and then it puts you in a place of humility. It keep you grounded also, but it don't put you in a place of being so complacent that, okay, I'm not going to do nothing, forget about it. Now you become inactive instead of staying active.
Mm.
Oh, the key is, what is the goal?
Okay.
What is the goal? That's the question of the day.
That's the question. What is the goal?
So
Well,
what is the goal? So therefore, if you don't have a goal, and I'm
eh,
not talking about goals, everybody have different hopes and desire and stuff like that. But what is the goal? Now, if the goal is not identified,
mhm.
how are we going to go about finding that out? Now, we have to look at what is our abilities, what is our skills, what we would like to see happen. All of these things we need not to dismiss.
So, Ozzy, I'm big on definitions, right? Because I think words make a difference, and I want us to all be talking from the same point of reference. So, when I
Mhm.
look up goal, I just Google goal, or objective
Mhm.
is an idea of the future or desired result that a person or group of people envision, plan, and commit to achieve.
Okay.
And this is on Wikipedia.
Right. So therefore, as you could see, it could be individual
Mm-hmm.
and it could be a group.
It could.
Okay. So now, if it could be individual and it also could be a group. Now we come into the vision part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is the vision? Now, the vision have to come from someone, and you may have a vision, a glimpse, not the whole big picture, but a glimpse. And it's an idea or a thought. So now with that thought and that idea have to be propelled with some kind of mechanism to propel it to reach that goal or reach that, that status that you're trying to reach. For example, you want to study psychology, just for example.
Right.
You want to practice psychology, depending on what level or what field of psychology, because you like helping people, you like being there for people and motivating people or encouraging others. Now, those tools is already in you. Those skills is already in you. Now, the only thing about it is it just have to be refined and polished. But the good thing about the Creator, Lord God, He places us in the right environment for that to flourish.
Okay.
It's going to be tested, and you have to be tested in order for it to say, okay, it's certified, it's qualified. It must be in a place of testing.
So,
Mhm.
Miss Anna said, as parents, we hinder our children as we impose upon them our own unmet dreams.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
And depending on how influential that parent may be, they may be able to put that pressure on that child as they grow up to fulfill it. Otherwise, they make them feel like they're a failure. Now, if that child starts studying and start reading and start applying certain structure and principles in their life, they will be able to say, okay, I see that's your dreams and your hopes for me. But I have my dreams and I have my aspiration and I have the things that I would like to do.
Yeah.
Now, the key is how supportive that parent is going to be towards their child or children in that regards. And how many years will go by before that child or children may be able to stand and say, okay, I feel driven by this. I think it's a good thing. I'm going to pray and plan. See, keywords, pray and plan. And then when you pray and you plan and you write it down, now you're leaving the door open for all opportunities to open up to you. Because if it's already planted in you, that means it got to come out somewhere. It got to grow into that mindset. Not that fixed mindset. For example, that parent that may have that fixed mindset, like, this is what I want you to be. This is how you're going to be. I'm paying you the money and your tuition to do this, to make themselves look good, to make themselves look exquisite in front of all of their peers and their family and others, just to show them off as, oh, look at my child, look how great they did. But yet, when you do the reflection, it's like, is this projecting from me to you so you could do what I'm unable to do? Because I fail to listen to that same potential and voice that is in me presently, still in the voice and still in the breath. And now I choose not to do anything. Why? Because of choices and decision making throughout the years. So now you finally woke up, or we finally wake up, and then we say, oh, well, I'm going to make sure that they don't go through this. But how open our mind are to see that, okay, if we're skillful enough, we'll be able to place that child or children in the right place and in the right environment, if we can, to help support them to develop. It's all about that development.
Indeed. Hold on. We got Joseph Ward on with us. Thank you for being here, Joe. Warren said, let's all ask questions to help people find out which road to travel. Today in a mentoring session with a 19-year-old, I asked him, what do you want to do in life? He said, I don't know. I asked him, what would you love to do if you didn't have to pay bills, you were wealthy or not? and you got to do what you want to bring joy to you. I asked him, what would you do? He said, I would love to create music that only gives love and vibes to the world. After 30 minutes, he said, I want to produce, and I think he said the end of that is music, which kind of, definitely lends itself to what I was talking about earlier. Just that sometimes we don't want to disappoint our parents, our guardians, our loved ones, and they have certain dreams and aspirations for us within for our lives that may not align with what our purpose is, our goals are, our motivations are. And so we definitely, I think we probably are doing that more now than previously. And especially, and I'm gonna just say this, as Black people in this country, we were limited with some of the things that we were allowed to do. And so I think we're exploring that more for sure in this day and age. And let me just pause here, also say we're a little bit more than halfway through our talk. So for those of you who are just joining us, I'm on with Mr. Ozzie Daniel. He is a clinician in Virginia Beach, Virginia, the great city of Virginia, of a great state of Virginia, rather. And we're talking about what's your drive to your goals, motivation, motivation, motivation. So we've talked about kind of what motivates folks, and he's talked about discipline. He's talked about getting in touch with your creator. We talked a little bit about esteem and confidence, and how goals can be individual as well as collective.
Right on point there, Nicole.
Yeah.
So the key is, it's like everyone, no matter what, and I'm learning that even more and more, you're born with greatness within you already. It's all about you discovering it. So when someone else discover it that you're already aware of, now the opportunity is given to place you in the right environment. And that's the key, is in the right environment, not a good environment, but in the right environment, because that's where the gift within us flourish. But the key is, what are we doing to help evolve that within our own being? Within our own being. And that's the key of unlocking it. So until, for example, until I start taking time, intentionally, purposely devoting my time. Remember the key word, time.
Right.
Not going ready to go here, go there, travel there, hang out there. But yes, it may look boring to some people, or it may look like you don't have a life. But guess what? Sometimes the best gifts are worked in darkness, is worked in closed doors, behind the curtain. Just like you see a movie, and the movie didn't just come out just like that. There were people working behind the scene, and the production company and the producers and the directors doing all that work to bring a project, which is the final piece to a goal that needed to come out. So it takes minds. Your mind may be so significant to a project. Your mind may be so significant to build something or to flourish something into motivation and to propel it into a finish. The goal is, you reach that goal and expect another goal. It's never done, never finished.
Not finished. All right.
We have to have that growth mindset. We cannot put ourselves into a limitation by complaining. And that's the number one key that we have to declutter out of our lives, is a complaining. That's why several conversations we had, Nicole, I spoke on gratitude.
You did.
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Why? Because once we have that, it will produce optimism within our being.
Mm-hmm.
It will place us into seeing things much clearly in a good perspective.
Okay.
It will cut away procrastination. It'll cut away a lot of things of fear and doubt. Why? Because it's nothing to be fearful and doubtful if you're grateful for the little things.
Right.
And mhm,
So as it relates to motivation, I again heard discipline. I heard uh praying and planning is part of it as well.
mhm.
Because I'm trying to get to what's your drive to your goals.
What is the goal? That is the answer. That's the question.
Mm,
What is your goal? What is your goal? So therefore, if there's a goal, and whether it may be implanted in you as a vision, whether
mhm,
it may be corporately or individual, you have to be willing to say, okay, I'm going to work towards this, and I'm going to focus my energy towards that goal. And until you reach that goal, you do not rest until. Now, you may have to get other resources from others. You may have to do some study. You may have to do some research. You may have to do some networking in
mhm.
order to bring this or whatever goal it is into life. So, therefore, we have to embrace our belief. That's number one in
Oh,
our thought life. What's our belief in our thought life?
all right. Warren is being funny. He said, "I have a goal to do a positive rap record with Joseph Ward." Yeah, now Joseph is Joseph. Said he does rap. Warren, Joe, you might have to step on in here because I don't know what Warren talking about. This might be a leadership Tallahassee class 40 wonderful inside job going on here. But anyway, Cherie said less complaining and more collaboration with like-minded individuals. Yes, amen, amen, amen. Agreed. James, is goal synonymous gift? James, spell it out a little bit better because I'm not quite sure I get your question. So
Synonymous to gift. Well, that gift that is within you still have to be nurtured and cultivated in order for that vision or that goal to really come to pass.
mhm.
So if you're living in it and acting upon it, you are actually working on the goals that is already in you already to be accomplished. That means you're living in your now, you're working in your now, and you're doing the things that you need to be doing in the present tense to fulfill that goal. And sometimes it's your gift.
Okay.
But are we aware of our gifts that is within us?
All right. He says, is goal being used in the same context as gift?
No, it's not. Your gift may be the propeller to reach that goal.
Mm,
But
gotcha.
once you find out your gift, you have come in contact with the most important part, which is your potential, because potential come in layers.
Mm,
It come in layers. You may just peel one part of that potential, but you may have a whole lot of layers to you that you are not even aware of.
okay.
But being placed in the right position or in the right area, oh yeah, it will force it to come out. And that's what sometimes the Lord does. He places us in positions and situations so it can flow out of us. But the key is coming into awareness of it.
All right. RB, yes, goal mapping is key and believing that it's possible. And when no with God, all I think maybe it was we know. We know with God all things are possible. May I
Yes.
think I think that's what he
All
meant.
things are
I
possible,
think
not
that's what
impossible.
yeah.
There's nothing impossible for God to do.
Exactly,
There
exactly.
you go. All right.
All right. And Coach Anna, self accountability is also key. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
and which really map into self-management. Because in self-management, now you have accountability and responsibility. So for example, let's just paint out a goal. You want to buy a new house. That's a goal, right? Now, how are you going to accomplish that? Of course, some people would say you got to get a job, right? And the next thing, not just a job, you have to learn money management. Are you going to save towards that goal? So when time to get that loan, you have enough money and your credit score is good enough so you could get that loan and that approval to get that house. So now, if you work on self-management, or we work on self-management, now it's set the most important thing, self-discipline. Self-discipline, because now you can't be spending money, taking trips, doing all kind of different things if you have a goal set to buy a house. Now, when you reach that goal, depending on the responsibilities and accountabilities that comes along with that, now you can manage and say, okay, this is the budget. But with every goal, no matter what the goal may be, self-discipline is a criteria. And how disciplined we are towards that goal is what we're going to see in the results of that goal. Whether it may take longer or it may take a shorter time of span. But it really comes down to thinking and our thought processes. And actually, how I should put it, the circle that we're building or we're involved with, or the details that we're getting to reach that goal.
Okay. Quasi just joined us. Peace and blessings to all. Thank you for being here, brother Quasi. RB said, yes, autocorrect changed my sentence. It was supposed to say goal mapping is key. We must believe it's possible, and we know that with God, all things are possible. All right. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Marcus, my goals are motivated by my desire for success, desire to provide for family, and desire to meet those in need. Ultimate goal, leave a legacy of wealth in my family. Love it. Thank you for sharing
That's
that.
a goal. So there goes the mindset right there. And that's setting the right mindset. So in order to reach that goal, first our mindset may have to change on how we've been behaving and how we've been acting, so our life could be changed in the right direction in order to meet those requirements. So it won't just be a wish list, but with action comes motivation. Motivation produces action, and without action, there's no motivation. So if there's no motivation and no action, therefore you have a flat tire.
Right.
Just deflate, So the key is really, Nicole, is building a great relationship with ourselves. What is our relationship with ourselves? And if we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, now we may need to change our mindset. So when we change our mindset, we change our life. So number one, we have to learn to react less. Sometimes we just out of control, bouncing all over the place, and have no control of our emotions. So therefore, if we have no control over our emotions, anybody could come and manipulate you because you're already out of control and you're not focused. We're not focused. So therefore, if we're not focused, somebody else will have something else to come and present to us, and it would not even be our purpose, but just something to get by, to feel important, or feel like, oh, I'm being successful, and it is not your purpose. Yep. So therefore, if purpose is not met or even recognized, that means our time is being wasted, but it's not really being wasted, because sooner or later you're going to catch up to yourself, and then all of a sudden time have to be made up.
All right. So react less, control your emotions. Got it.
Mhm. And then the next thing is control ourselves and not others.
Okay.
Because the true power is being able to being able to control ourselves. That's the true power. Because many people want to be in leadership or be in charge just to boss people. But are you truly leading them to their potential and drawing out their giftings that is within them? Because we're able to perceive these things and observe these things and help direct and guide them.
Mm.
That's a good thing about leadership. But we will never come encounter with that until we are encountered with ourselves.
Gotcha. Real quick, my sister Shayla just joined us. Thank you for being here, Shay. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. So after that, have an expectation for nothing. That means expecting nothing but appreciating everything. Now, that's easier said than done because most of us always expecting. But now, if we have no expectation but have an appreciation for the little things, we will actually experience greater things in our life because it will just magnify.
Mm-hmm.
But until we come in touch with ourselves and really realize what we are made of and our true potential, now we are naturally going to be driven with motivation, whether it may be helping others, serving others, or just being a support to many others, but actually taking time out to develop ourselves.
Okay.
And the last part is choosing our friends wisely.
Mm.
Sometimes we hang out with some people that just not good. Oh, I always say everyone is good, but they may not be a good fit for you.
Right, right, right.
And if they are not a good fit for you, you need to disconnect,
Okay.
create space in order to grow, you know? And the most important thing about it all, stop telling everyone everything.
Mm.
Because some people not even there to see you succeed. They really want you to slip up and fail.
Mm-hmm.
But I really believe, truly, once you have a relationship with the divine, it will naturally place you in a position of just being able to know how to pick your friend because now you have confidence within yourself. And because you want to see the best for others, it will naturally put you in the position of saying, okay, I'm going to stay away from this. I'm going to stick with that. Why? Because discipline is so important in meeting goals and meeting purpose.
Mm-hmm. So definitely can relate to all of those. Reacting less, controlling yourself, which to me is also your emotions. Expecting nothing and appreciating everything, many things, and choosing your friends wisely and not telling everybody everything that's going on with you. So those are some really good points. You're talking about building a relationship with yourself, and we're with ourselves all the times, right?
24/7.
All right.
24/7.
That's, uh,
And sometimes we become so idle minded and we're not really being constructive in
mm,
our development. And that's a fault on our part. We have to take personal responsibility for that and be accountable for that.
right.
And then we have to make a choice. What am I going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to have a fixed mindset or am I going to have a growth mindset? That's a question we have to ask ourselves. Because if we're going to achieve anything successfully with longevity and with a legacy, we have to have a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset and have a determination to be optimistic in meeting whatever we put a heart and mind and desire to do. And the reason why I didn't put no parentheses on the goals, because only you alone know the purpose that God have placed in your heart for you. Now, how well that is communicated with others and with the right people, now that's where the results are really going to come in.
Yeah.
So, how strong is our desires? Is really the motivation behind it all to give that drive to reach our goals. Is that desire? So, how strong is it? Is it strong enough to achieve, or is it just going to ride for a couple of days and then I don't think this is not going anywhere, and then we start self-sabotaging ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
which is sometimes the biggest issue, because if we believe in something and we want to achieve something and we share it with someone, sometime, yeah, they may question a couple things to keep us focused, to make us think. Are you sure you're on the right road? Are you sure you're on the right direction? Are
Mm-hmm.
you going down the right path? But someone with wisdom and understanding will be able to draw it out of you and able to guide you in that right way, so you could be able to see where you're going, but then to how well and how strong of the desire within you and how much you believe in yourself. It really depends, Nicole, on how much time we have been spending with ourselves.
Yes.
And believe me, when we find that time in our quietness, we may find someone there
Mm-hmm.
speaking within us very clearly and giving us direction and giving us input and letting us know what we are capable of doing.
Right. So I will say too, Ozzy, yes, that quiet time, that time doing our work, as you were stating earlier, is very important, as well as to be able to hear that small voice that is giving us guidance and instruction and direction, I think also revealing to us what our purpose and purposes are is in this realm. And so, we oftentimes are distracted, which we talked about, in terms of all of the things that are coming at us. And so it's really important, as Ozzy often says, that we get our 20, find our 20, which is 20 minutes of sitting quietly, silently, and allowing spirit, creator, to download certain things and talk to us and us to receive. Um, and so, again, I can't speak enough about how important that is. Like, that's really very, very important,
Mhm,
um, because it's a driving force. I think oftentimes, as we have talked about all these number of things that we messages that are coming to us, there's a lot of negativity that we encounter, and
mhm,
sometimes that can overtake our mind, in terms of comparison, or maybe us having thoughts of inadequacy, or not being light enough or dark enough, tall enough or short enough,
mhm,
rich enough or poor enough,
mhm,
Democrat, Republican, male, female. It's, we can get caught up into all of these things, right?
mhm, mhm,
About if I was this or that, instead of just being glad of, with the skin that you're in, glad with, your nose, your mouth, your hair, whatever, just being grateful, as we talked about that gratitude again,
mhm,
being grateful for who you are, whose you are, and what you're here for. And then I would also say, um, that there are adversities that happen in life, right? Um,
mhm,
and we have to overcome those things. And
mhm,
so part of that motivation is, at least for me, is, knowing that I can overcome adversity. I can
mhm,
overcome sometimes when I'm discomforted, right? So that's another piece of that motivation. And then the other thing is change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Change is inevitable. The only thing constant is change in this
Mm-hmm.
world. And so we have to adapt to change, right? We gotta manage the change and not let the change manage us, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely on point, and actually I look at it this way, Nicole, that it helped build that muscle in our mind,
Mm-hmm.
strengthen our mind, you know, and it help us to see what we are capable of.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to say, okay, I'm going to just let this go. Why hold on to it? And I have no control over it because I'm trying to control it, but yet it's controlling me
Yeah.
because now it's getting a reaction out of me and
Mm.
it have me reacting instead of proacting.
Yeah.
So now it's best to get into the position of being proactive, but it really takes a lot of how much cultivating we are doing with our own mind.
Yes.
Is it positive or is it negative? How
Mm.
much time are we spending in the positivity and how much time are we spending in the negative?
Right.
And do we understand the difference?
Yep. Marcus Boston, he says sometimes we have to reinvent or improve our knowledge based on the goals we have.
Mm-hmm.
True. More education, certifications, or workshops to fine tune our way to our goals. Yes. I will also add to that YouTube University because there's a whole lot you can learn by watching YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
Or
And
listening for that matter. You don't need some stuff you don't even have to watch. You can just listen to them talk about whatever it is.
yeah, you hit a great point there, Marcus. I appreciate that very much. And yeah, you nail it right there. So the most important thing also is don't try to compare yourself with anyone else. The only thing we could do is be the better self of ourselves than we were yesterday.
Be the best version, yeah. Be
Be
better than
it.
you were
Don't
yesterday.
just say it, but really be it. That's motivation right there.
Mm,
Because now that determination is there to be better than yesterday. That's
yeah.
enough motivation in itself. And
Mhm.
I guarantee you, in the next few months, you will find yourself in a different light, in a different position, and opportunities awaiting your mind to enter in. So the key is prepare now because when opportunity presents itself, it's too late to prepare then.
Mhm.
So are you preparing now?
So you basically saying stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
There you go.
All right.
And the only way to get ready and to stay ready is put the time and discipline and self-discipline into
Yeah.
that work within yourself and your abilities. You got to believe in your abilities,
Mhm.
natural abilities, spiritual abilities, all of it is wholeness. All of it is wholeness. And I call it the intuition.
Mhm. Okay.
How well are you in tune with yourself?
Yes.
Because all of that is meeting goals. All of that is requirement and prerequisites in reaching that goal. But how motivated are we to even stay there and be patient in there? Because as I told one of my friends earlier today, I said, patience is bitter.
Mm.
It's very bitter, but the fruit is sweet.
Mm. Hmm.
The fruit is sweet. So sometimes you got to learn that skill. And that is part of reaching a goal.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to know when to move and you have to know when to sit still sometimes.
Mhm.
But motivation always equal action.
It's doing.
Always equal action. But
Yeah.
what are we actively doing?
Mhm.
But if we don't have a goal, if we don't have a vision, we need to find one. And it all starts from within, not outside. But you may see a problem outside that may motivate us within to cultivate, to solve that problem that is happening outside.
Mhm. Okay.
But what's the drive?
What's the drive? So, Oz, we are at the end of our time. I want to give you an opportunity to give some closing remarks and tell folks how they can connect with you.
All right. Well, as I have been on the last couple of shows, and I like to say at the end of it, Matthew 6:33, and it's one of my favorite. I have many favorites, but Matthew 6:33 said, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then all things shall be added unto you." Now, keyword, added. Didn't say subtracted or divided or taken away from. He said added unto you. So there goes the requirement. The requirement is to seek. The motivation always should be seeking. Seeking what? His kingdom. And what? His righteousness. And these things shall be added unto you to fulfill your purpose in life and to be great in whatever you put your hands to, whatever you touch, and any hope, desire that you may have. He placed it in you, first of all, but it's all about coming in touch with it. Once you come in touch with it, now you could be it. And that's a natural part of it. And that's a part of unlocking the potential that is within us. How much time we spend in it, and how much time that we may waste playing around with it, it's up to us. So be disciplined, be courageous, have that mindset to say, okay, I am going to do my best today. I'm going to put that effort in today so I could be better, even better tomorrow if I live to see. But at least you could know that I did my best today. So have a growth mindset, not just a fixed mindset, but allow yourself to flourish from within so you could be the best thing that you could ever think about, that you will even be surprised that was and is within you. And the way you can reach me on Facebook, Ozzie Daniel, IG, Oswiz2819, or you could email me at theozcorner@gmail.com. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for spending time with us for this hour. And I hope you learned something from it and grow from it and be the best that you could ever be.
All right. Thank you, Ozzy, for that conversation on motivation and goals and really knowing yourself, and building a relationship with yourself essentially is what we were talking about. All right. So I hope you all found this to be beneficial. You got some nuggets from it. Please, if you will let us know in the comments. All right. Miss Portia said, great teaching, Oz.
And thank you, Porsche.
True words of wisdom. Thank you both for those nuggets. Thank you, Mom. Miss Gloria.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Mom. Great words. Thank you, Miss Gloria. All right, Sharice, as always, this topic was much needed as a reminder to stay focused on reaching your goals. Yes, absolutely. We can always use that reminder to stay focused on our goals. All right, and my sister giving us a hand clap. Thank you, Shay. Appreciate you so much. All right, y'all, let's keep this conversation going because we need to be motivated, meaning we need to be doing, and we need to be building great relationships with ourselves, right? Okay, let's see. Marcus, Nicole. Yes, thank you, Marcus. We need to be building great relationships with ourselves. So if you know someone that you believe will benefit from this video, please share it. Please give us some likes, some comments on the video on YouTube specifically. That's helpful. And keep tuning in. Keep tuning in. For those who may be new to the platform, I invite you to subscribe to Conversations with Nicole on YouTube. We are here Mondays and Wednesdays live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And our focus is primarily mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities. And so Ozzy is a clinician in Virginia Beach. And while he does not have a private practice, he does see patients through the work that he does there, and it's very important work at that. Mostly dealing with men and some young people, and yeah, sometimes he tells me stories about some of the things that he encounters, and it's tough out there as a clinician. It's not easy work, but somebody has to do it, and appreciate you, Ozzy, and your calling to do this work, your purpose, your goal to do this work, right? Your motivation
Yeah,
is what drives you
and
to do
you
this
have
work.
to have a spirit of empathy, a spirit of kindness, you just have to have the spirit within you to have patience, and
Yeah,
know exactly when to plug in and when to unplug
mm,
also,
absolutely.
but once you once we have that love, I think that's the main thing. And that love is ingrained in our being and in our bones, and we know where everything come from, but yet it may seem like it's misplaced or temporarily disconnected. But the key is to draw it into the right area of that person's mind so they could be able to realize why I am special. I
Mm,
am somebody.
yeah.
I am loved,
Hmm. Yeah.
but the key is be kind to yourself.
Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
For sure, for sure. All right. Well, y'all, we'll be back on Wednesday. We're doing part two of last week's show with Dr. Janice Moody, who is a psychologist based in Texas. And we'll be talking about the loneliness epidemic, the loneliness epidemic part two. So definitely tune in on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. And we have many more interesting topics coming up in the weeks to come. So thank you, Ozzy, for your time,
Welcome. Thank
and
you for having me.
as usual for bringing the nuggets and the gems tonight. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, have a good rest of the evening.
Take
Bye.
care. Have a good night, everyone.